All right, hello. We're recording. So I'm trying a different method today. I found a screen recorder on my phone, and I decided from now on when I do these videos with the articles, I can record them a lot easier because otherwise I would have to take another phone or use the computer. So now I can show the weather here in Erie, PA a lot easier, and I can also record these videos easier. So today I found this article and decided I should show it for you all today. It's for here in PA, helicopter to spray thick brown liquid over Pennsylvania. This will be happening in York, Pennsylvania. And look at what they're spraying. Vectobac 12AS. Does that ring a bell to any of you? Because just about a month ago, they sprayed Central PA with it. So if you watch one of my previous videos, you'll find that they sprayed Vectobac 12AS already. But they didn't write it this way last time. They didn't write it as a brown liquid resembling chocolate milk. So supposedly they're spraying this for gnat suppression, and they spray it in the waterways. Even though I already reviewed the SDS sheet in a previous video, excuse me, we're going to do it again. So they began spraying yesterday at 7 a.m. Oh, and they have the tail number of the chopper. So doesn't say when they're going to stop spraying. I mean, the skies are already sprayed. We have weather modification. They're dropping. This is a poison. This is a poison. It's killing. It's going to kill more than just gnats. That's why we haven't had many fish at all. Like, we've gone out fishing and haven't caught like barely any fish. And if we do, they're very tiny. The population of animals, of people, are starting to decline because of these poisons. So now we'll jump over and look at our SDS sheet. We got Vectobac. Oh, and let me see. So your eyes, you want to flush them out for 5 minutes. Continue rinsing. If irritation persists or signs of toxicity. If this has no harm, it's not a chemical, they say, and it's not toxic, then why does it say signs of toxicity? Seek medical attention. And for skin, remove from source of exposure. Take off contaminated clothing. And again, it says signs of toxicity, ingestion. You don't want to ingest it at all. Inhalation. You don't want to inhale it either. It says right here, move to fresh air, because clearly this is toxic stuff. I don't care if it's being sprayed in the open air. It's still going to be harmful. Even though there's plenty of fresh air for it to disperse, it's still not good to breathe in. It's going to be in the waterways and in the air. And that's not good that it's dispersing in the air, because you're going to breathe in the particles. So keep an eye. If people start getting sick around here in PA, we know why, because this is illegally being sprayed. We have no say anymore. What kind of free country is this? Where we can't, there's no voting on whether or not you want this. Not that voting is even a real thing either. It's a selection, not an election. But anyway, what do we see? I'm just reading. You don't want to flush it in the sewer. I know somewhere in here said kind of about the. So you want to wear general ventilation. So you want something over to cover your face. You should wear protective clothing, boots, and gloves, and wash thoroughly afterwards. Have a face shield on. Oh, this says use dust and mist filtering respirator. So if this isn't toxic at all, they're pretty much saying this isn't toxic at all. It's like it's just spraying water mist. Clearly, it's not. That's non-toxic, because if you need a whole respirator, that's definitely not non-toxic. And then here is our physical chemical properties. I'm just kind of reading through oral toxicity. It has all these. Then the toxicity for fish and bird. So then they haven't done any tests on what it does to the soil, what it does to, I don't know what that is. Other adverse effects not known because they didn't test it. Okay, I'm just looking because I thought there was more. So I'll keep. Maybe this is a different safety data sheet, but whatever one I looked at last time said you don't want to expose it to the environment. So, and I know it may not be on this one, but it was. If you go even in my last video, you can see it said do not expose the environment, yet they're spraying it in the waterways. Let me just read through one more time. And this is kind of the SDS sheet's kind of beating around the bush saying, well, we don't have information on the effects of it, of what it does to people. Oh, and it's not toxic. But if signs of toxicity occur, so which is it? It's kind of confusing to me. But clearly, I just want to make sure I didn't miss it. I don't see anywhere where it says environmental. It doesn't say it, really. It said a little bit about what it does to some of the fish, but before it had I know it had more than this. But yes, this is being sprayed yet again in Pennsylvania, York County. And may I bring up again that they sprayed Mimic 2LV. That was back in April of this year, 2024. They sprayed that over 120,000 acres of the game lands in Pennsylvania for this supposed spongy moth. That stuff They didn't do all the tests on the respiratory, reproductive, and they said, oh, generally non-toxic in the article, but it seemed to say otherwise because it had toxicity to fish, birds. You didn't want to put it in the environment at all. And they sprayed a bunch of areas, 120,000 acres. You realize how many animals that probably killed? How many people it made sick? This is wrong. And of course, the SDS will beat around the bush, like I said, and here it'll say it's toxic here, and then another part it'll say it's not toxic. Come on, that's just shady. You know it's toxic, and we have no consent to say we don't want that sprayed in our game lands because it should be illegal. You can't just make up the rules. They can't just say, well, we think it's best, so we're just going to do it. Kind of like the Pennsylvania, the Game Commission also, they drained, we had some fishing spot that we used to fish at. They drained the ponds because they're saying, oh, the beavers are damming up. Killed almost all of the fish because they drained the water so low that it was really low. The fish didn't have anywhere to go. And some of them just drowned. Not drowned. Some of them washed up. And then they did multiple ponds within that area because it's a multiple ponds on this one game land. And at the other one, they drained the pond, and I don't think it's filled back up. There's nothing left of the whole pond that dried up. They're doing this to stop you from being able to fish. To be able to get your own food. And that is extremely wrong. People should be more up in arms about it. Extremely wrong. But I think that's all for now. Be sure, if you're curious more about this, the Vectobac 12AS, be sure to check my previous video talking about it. This isn't the same SDS sheet, I believe, that it had the last time, but you can check the other video, and I'll talk a little bit more about it. But I still want to remind people about the Mimic 2LV and the fact that they keep spraying this Vectobac poison on us. All right, thanks for watching, and God bless. Bye-bye.